You know what? Every day you are linking with the space in some way. I didn't mean an apologically narrative that your birth and life are closely associated with the dynamic power of the universe. I mean, the moment you unlock your phone, you are connecting with the space, via GPS. Google Map tells you which road ahead to go. Google Earth tells you what is going on for now at every traceable corner around the world. You have probably heard of ongoing popular space tourism competition among billionaires club. Unlike conventional luxury goods or transportations, such wave of fashion cost overwhelming amounts of money. The public size price was in the range of $20 to $25 million per trip. Earlier in space race between the United States and the Soviet Union, the expenditure on going to space took up 3 to 4% of GDP. So don't you wonder why? Why humans go to space, which cost unimaginable amounts of money? Ready? Go! Paradoxical curiosity and self-exploration. The idea of exploring space dates back to 17th century. About 200 years before, humans successfully invented the very first plane. John Wilkins, a theological pessimist and a professor, one of the founders of Royal Society in England, once proposed space traveling in his two books, The Discovery of a World in the Moon and A Discourse Concerning a New Planet. It results from an extraordinary curiosity in humans, as all kids contribute to push their knowledge background every single day. Through human civilization, explorers have always sailed the wide ocean in the search for new islands. Sir Edmund Hillary scaled Mount Everest. Magellan circumnavigated the globe in a ship. Yuri Gagarin and Neil Armstrong first pushed the limits of humans into space. By breaking every boundary, humans learn new things about space. For example, how humans deal with extended time in space, what the physical composition of the moon is, how to grow food in space, where the black holes are, and the recycling water and oxygen in space. Until the Cold War in 20th century, in the space race between the United States and the Soviet Union, humans were able to collectively make their childish dreams come true, sending satellites, robots, and humans into space. See, this is the brief history. The expanded space around the Earth opens humans' eyes to get to know misses in the universe. Also opens humans' mind to look back on themselves from a marvelous micro perspective. Humans are creatures which is a lonely, hegemonic, and real-life form on the Earth since 2 million years ago. Humans are the creatures on the Earth where located in the solar system, Orion Arm, the Milky Way, the local group, the Virgo supercluster, the universe. Humans are the creatures which is a DNA molecule being formed by random collections of atoms in the infinite space. All these discovery outcomes come from humans' innate curiosity. As psychologists describes the function of curiosity, a cognitive-induced deprivation that arises from a perception of a gap in knowledge and understanding, blind ambition on the unknown. In the face of the unknown, both blind worship and ambitious conquest have deeply rooted in humans. Case fear of barking dogs at the first time, but they would love to learn how to tame and lead the dogs at the same time. Columbus must have feared of unknown and risky navigations, but he must have a stronger desire for owning treasures on the new islands as well. As for exploring space, the same. Humans do fear of superior aliens and their advanced civilizations in outer space, but they believe a wishful and a fanciful luck to connect, to research, to get along with, even to debate them. Such paradoxical ambition has driven humans to discover the possibilities of life like humans on Earth, creatures in space. For decades, from many observation stations and space stations, humans have been sending all kinds of signals into sky, although it has not yet reported an explicit reply from the unknown. At least humans' own imagination and expectation based on our own civilization never stop. In a series of science fictions and some movies, humans imagine the game in the universe for having fun and for pretending to grab a sense of alien civilization. In practice, with numerous attempts and remarkable efforts, and with colony civilization mindset, so far some humans have found and planned to make the moon and Mars as space colonies in the solar system. Will it be an excellent idea or a naive and silly attempt? Time will be the best helper for examining it. Loneliness and uniqueness. Loneliness is one of significant psychological weakness of humans, which have driven us to socialize and connect with each other. Also, to discover other life forms in the universe when we detect and self-define ourselves the identical. According to the Steve Hawking, there are three main life possibilities hypotheses about why so far humans have not yet received any signal form. First, it may be that the possibilities of primitive life appearing on a suitable planet is very low. Second, the possibilities of primitive life appearing may be reasonably high, but the possibilities of that life developing intelligence like Earth may be very low. Third, life appears, and in some cases develops into intelligent beings. But when it reaches to a stage of sending radio signals, it will also have the technology to make nuclear bombs and other weapons of massive destruction. It will, therefore, be in the danger of destroying itself before long. Himself favors the second one, and he believes that just because evolution leads to intelligence in our case, we shouldn't assume that intelligence is inevitable consequences of Darwinian natural selection. It's not clear that intelligence confers a long-term survival advantages. Bacteria and insects will survive quite happily even if we so-called intelligence lead us to dissolve cells. Due to this empty result, humans self-define uniqueness on themselves. Are humans really unique? Or humans just make this conclusion because their loneliness? Hi space, do you know the answer? Do you know?